Urgent Washington Commanders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Washington Commanders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, fellow Commanders fans. Today, I've got some intriguing developments to talk about, something that could have a big impact on your team's outlook for the upcoming season. We're diving into a story that's been buzzing around the NFL lately, a story that involves a veteran pass rusher whose name has been floating around in the rumor mill, and who many believe might find a new home soon, possibly right here in Washington. Yes, I'm talking about none other than Matthew Judin. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with Judin's recent history, let me give you a quick rundown. The guy is a four-time Pro Bowler, with a career total of 72 sacks, and he's been known for his relentless pass-rushing ability over the years. Judin entered the league as a second-round pick back in 2016, and since then, he's built a reputation as one of the most consistent edge rushers in the NFL. But last season, things didn't quite pan out as expected. The Falcons acquired him mid-season in an attempt to bolster their pass rush, remember that? It was late July, early August, and Atlanta was trying to make a splash. They traded for Judin in hopes that he'd bring some much-needed pressure to their defensive line. But, as it turned out, the results were a bit underwhelming. Judin finished the year with just five sacks, which is certainly not what teams expect from a player of his caliber. It's not a terrible number, but for someone with his pedigree, that's a bit disappointing. The Falcons, meanwhile, went in a different direction this offseason, investing heavily in their pass rush in the draft. They used their first-round picks on Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr., two young talented edge rushers who are expected to make an immediate impact. Plus, they added veteran Leonard Floyd as a free agent, bringing more depth and experience to the unit. So, with all these new pieces, it's clear Atlanta is building for the future, and Judin's place in their plans became less certain. Now, here's where it gets interesting for us, Washington fans. There was initial speculation that Judin might return to Atlanta or find a new team before the start of the season, but as we hit May, it looks like the veteran is still unsigned, still searching for a team. And you have to wonder, why has he not signed yet? With his resume, age just shy of 33 in August, and his proven ability to get after the quarterback, it seems like a no-brainer that he'd have plenty of suitors. But perhaps Judin is taking his time, weighing his options, assessing where he can make the biggest impact, and maybe even waiting for the right fit. And that's where the Washington Commanders come into play. Recently, NFL.com published a feature discussing some of the top remaining free agents and potential landing spots for this year's offseason. And in that piece, analyst Jeffrey Chadiha made a compelling case for Judin to join the Commanders. Chadiha pointed out that Washington, under head coach Ron Rivera and defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio, has been looking to add veteran leadership and pass-rushing punch. The team's recent history shows a pattern, bringing in experienced players like Bobby Wagner at linebacker and Zach Ertz at tight end last season, to help guide the younger guys and push the team toward the playoffs. What's really interesting about Judin fitting into Washington's scheme is how well he could complement their existing pass rushers. The Commanders have some talented young players, like Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but they've been missing that consistent, veteran presence who can both rush the passer and mentor the younger guys. Judin, with his 4 Pro Bowls, would not only provide a serious boost in sacks, something the team has been seeking, but also bring leadership and stability to their defensive front. Imagine a scenario where Judin teams up with Chase Young, who's been battling injuries but still has elite potential, and Sweat, who's been developing nicely. That trio could form a formidable pass-rushing unit that opposing quarterbacks would dread. And let's not forget the importance of pass rush in today's NFL. The game has become increasingly dominated by the aerial attack, and defenses that can consistently pressure the quarterback often control the game. Judin's skill set, his speed, technique, and relentless motor, would be a perfect fit for the Commanders' defensive philosophy. Plus, having a seasoned veteran like Judin would help elevate the entire unit, especially as Washington aims to contend for a playoff spot and possibly make a deep run. The NFC East is competitive as always, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all making moves, so Washington needs every edge they can get. You might be wondering, what's the current status of Judin's free agency situation? Well, despite his impressive resume, he's yet to find a new team, and the NFL offseason is already well underway. Many analysts believe he's just waiting for the right offer, and it's quite possible that he's looking at teams like Washington, where he could have a significant role, a chance to make an impact, and perhaps even a shot at a Super Bowl run. The Commanders, after all, have been building a solid defense, especially on the front line, and adding a player of Judin's caliber would be a statement move. Now, if we look at the broader picture, Washington's defense last season showed flashes of brilliance, but it was inconsistent at times, especially in generating pressure on the quarterback. They finished with a decent number of sacks, but they lacked that consistent game-changer, someone who could turn the tide on a game with a big play. Judin could be that difference-maker. The team's coaching staff has shown a willingness to adapt and incorporate veteran leadership, and I think bringing Judin into the fold would be a smart move, especially considering how much he could mentor and energize the younger players. Furthermore, the team's draft strategy and off-season acquisitions suggest they're serious about contending now. They're not just rebuilding, they're trying to take that next step. The addition of Judin could be the missing piece that pushes the defense over the edge. Imagine a scenario where Judin, Chase Young, and Montez Sweat all line up on the same front, creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks. That's the kind of pass rush that can turn games around, force turnovers, and ultimately lead to more wins. And let's talk a bit about Judin's career trajectory. Even at 32, he's still playing at a high level. His 4 Pro Bowl appearances are a testament to his talent and consistency. Sure, some might point out that he only had 5 sacks last year, but that number doesn't tell the full story. Judin's presence on the field often draws double teams, frees up teammates, and creates opportunities for others. His veteran savvy is invaluable, especially for a team like Washington, which is still trying to find its identity on defense. So, in summary, what does this all mean for us, the Commanders faithful? Well, the possibility of Judin joining the team is genuinely exciting. It's a move that could bring immediate impact and long-term leadership. It's a strategic addition that aligns perfectly with the team's goals for this season and beyond. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this could be one of the biggest. Judin's free agency status remains a mystery, but I believe the Commanders should be all in on trying to bring him in. His experience, pass-rushing talent, and leadership qualities could be the catalyst that elevates Washington's defense to new heights. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing? Do you think Judin would make a difference? Are you excited about the possibility of him donning the burgundy and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, this offseason is just heating up, and I'll be right here, bringing you all the latest updates, rumors, and expert analysis. So stay tuned, keep supporting the Commanders, and let's see what the future holds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders!